Hey guys, welcome back to your Upstreet at Home service. I'm Miss Denise and I am so glad to see you guys. It is a brand new month and it's summertime. What? How many guys are super excited for summer? Tell me on the count of three one of your favorite summer activities. Ready? On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Those are all amazing summer activities, and I know we're super excited with all the sunshine and all the summer stuff that's going on. Now, before we jump into this month, because it's a new month, we have a new life app and a new theme, but we have to wrap up last month because you guys were awesome during our Unstuck series last month. You showed some great determination when you were earning your slime points. You worked super hard, and I have got some totals for you. I know that you're super excited to hear them and you're waiting with pins and needles. So are you guys ready? We're going to start with the boys, okay? So I'm going to ask you to give me a drum roll in just a second. The boys' slime point totals are, give me a drum roll. Boom! They are 117 points. What? Where did that come from? They worked super hard these past couple weeks. They have been earning their points. But is it enough? Because the girls have been working hard as well. Well, we're about to find out. So the boys have 117. All right, you guys ready? All right, so the girls' slime point total, are you ready? Give me a drum roll. Boom! 183! Woohoo! Way to go, girls! That was amazing. I mean, you guys did so awesome. Together, you earned over 300 slime points, which is what? Just crazy. So I decided that we would take the top point for the girls and the top point winner for the boys, and we would allow them, that's right, to choose their favorite small group leader to kind of get them all sticky. So, you guys want to know who those were? All right, so let's start with the top girl point slime winner. She just earned so many slime points. She was way above everybody else. And that is, give me a drum roll, Miss Hannah Mash. Woohoo! Great job, Miss Hannah. You did awesome. Now, Miss Hannah, I talked to her this week, and she chose for her small group leader that she wants to get all messy. She chose Mr. Brian. What? So I am super excited to see that happen. And she chose to actually throw a whipped cream pie in his face. And I know that he is super excited for that. I'm sure you can tell by his picture. Awesome. All right, so for the boys, the top boy slime point winner was, drum roll, Mr. Declan Fussell. What? Give it up for Declan. He worked hard all month long earning those slime points. And I talked with Mr. Declan this week, and he chose for his small group leader, Miss Hannah Knapp. What? Now, Miss Hannah is also going to get a pie in her face. So she's really excited about it too. I talked to her. So we're going to have an awesome time doing this. And here's the most important part. You guys, everybody has an opportunity to watch it. Not on the TV screen. You're going to be able to watch it live and in person. What? It's going to be awesome. Here's the scoop. Next Sunday, June 14th, we are going to have a drive-in event. Now, a drive-in might be kind of, something that older people did. Your parents would know exactly what a drive-in is. It's where you get in the car, you drive into the parking lot with your family, you stay in your car, and you get to tune in on the radio to what's happening outside. You'll get to see it, you'll get to hear it, you'll get to be a part of it, and it's going to be awesome. So make sure that you mark your calendar. Next Sunday, June 14th, we're going to be having church in a different way. We're going to be at Lakeside, where we normally have church, in our cars, and we're going to be watching the Great Pie event, which is going to be awesome. We have some other cool things that we're going to do as well. And, are you ready? We've got Kona Ice. What? I know, Kona Ice on a Sunday morning. How cool is that? So make sure you let your parents know that you want to be here. You want to be here Sunday, next Sunday, 10 o'clock at Lakeside. And I'll make sure I email them all the details so you don't have to, worry about the main details. They'll have all that information. Cool thing is, all your leaders will be there. We'll get to wave to you. We get to see you. We get to air high fives. We get to air hugs. And we just get to really have an opportunity to tell you how much we have missed you, which will be awesome. So I look forward to it next Sunday. Awesome. Well, now we kind of have to kick off this month as well. Because this month is the month of June. We've got a new life app, a new theme. And our theme for this month is actually focus. Taking a closer look. Now, have you guys ever used binoculars? I think they are like, wow, the coolest thing ever. I mean, they bring something that's like super, super far away, like you guys, like I can almost see you, super far away, and they bring it up really close for you. Kind of cool. I can be in my house looking down at the lake and trying to squint and see what the thing in the water is. And then I can pull these babies out and I can bring them up and I can look and I can see the head of a turtle, the pattern on his shell on the back, which is pretty awesome. It is so cool that you are able to do that with things called binoculars. And there are a couple of other things that help us see things that are really small, like a microscope, and a telescope. Those are things that kind of bring things closer for us to look at. Now I'm going to introduce you to our life app because we're going to kind of be focusing on something that you really actually can't see. You're kind of like, what? Our life app for this month is faith. It's coming up on the screen. We're going to read this definition all together on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Faith. Trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see. All right, let's say that one again because that can be kind of tricky. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Faith. Trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see. And we're going to be taking a look at some really cool things this summer, and we're going to be focusing on faith. Now, to kick things off, we got a little game that you guys are going to play, and I'm going to play with you. All right, here's how this is going to work. You're going to get a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, okay? So go ahead and press pause, gather that, and I'll wait right here until you come back. Awesome. All right, do you have your pen? You have your paper? Okay, good. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to number 1 through 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And give yourself some space so you can write next to it, okay? So go ahead and do that. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So this game is called bum-ba-da-bum, microscope, telescope, or eyes. And here's what's going to happen. I'm going to put a picture up on the screen right here, and it's going to be kind of blurry. And you're going to have to guess, kind of try to figure out what it is. And would you use a microscope? Would you use a telescope? Or would you use your eyes to see it? Okay? And you're going to write on your paper what you think. You don't have to write the whole word because they're kind of long and they're kind of hard to spell. So you can kind of take the M for microscope. You can use M, or you can use T for telescope, or use E for eyes. Now, once you put your answer down on that paper, don't you change it once you find out what it is, okay? You make sure that you put your answer down, and then when I show you what it is, and we talk about what you would use, then that's your answer. And then if you got it right, you would circle it. If you got it wrong, you just put a little X by it. And at the end, you'll have your parents take a picture of your little paper with your name on it so I can see how many you got right. And they'll text it to my number, which they should have, but it'll be on the screen as well. All right, are you guys ready? You got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s? Okay, here comes our first picture. Here it comes. Ready? Boom. I know, can you see that? I mean, it's really blurry. Okay, so what do you think? Do you think you would use a microscope, a telescope, or your eyes to see it? Write down M, T, or E. Okay, are you ready? Let's see what it is. It's an amoeba. What? And you would use a microscope to see it a whole lot clearer. Okay, so if you put microscope, if you put an M, then you circle that because you got that one right. Thumbs up. If you didn't, that's okay. Just put a little X. You got another shot. Are you ready? Here comes your second picture. Coming up on the screen now. Ooh, that's a little blurry too. Can you see it? All right, you got your answer? Are you sure? M, T, or E? Okay, here it comes. Boo! It's a planet. And what would you use? That's right, a telescope. So if you put a T on there, give yourself a high five because you got it correct. Circle that, baby. If you didn't, it's all right. Just put a little X on it and you're going to have another shot. Are you ready? Here comes our next one. Number 3. Ooh, it's pretty. Okay, you got your M, T, or E? All right, let's see what it is. Blood platelets. I wouldn't have guessed that one. And what do you use? You use a microscope. Okay, that was a tough one. So if you put an M, that's right, circle it, woohoo, high five, all that good stuff. If you didn't get it right, no worries, just put a little X, and we're moving on to number 4. Here it comes, up on the screen. Oh, I don't know. What do you think? You got your M, T, or E? Okay, here it comes. Booyah. Ooh, they're pancakes. Oh, my favorite. I love Cracker Barrel pancakes. Yum. All right, so who put E for eyes? Awesome. Then circle it up because you got that one correct. If you did not, you know what to do. X. All right, here comes the last one. Are you ready? Okay, here he comes. Interesting. Got it? M, T, or E? All right, let's check it out. What is it? It's a dinner plate. What would you use? You would use your eyes for that one. So if you put an E, you got it correct. Give yourself a circle. If you didn't, put an X. All good. Count up the number of circles you got right. Put it at the top. Have your parents snap a photo of that and text it to me at the number on the screen below. Great job. All right, guys, you enjoy the rest of your service, and I'll see you again at the very end. Bye-bye.
What do you believe in? You believe I can catch a ball because you just saw me do it. You believe your dog is shedding his winter coat because you can see all the fur that your dad makes you clean up. You believe the floor is solid because you haven't fallen through it yet. Some people say seeing is believing, but faith says use what you can see to believe in what you can't see. You can't see the wind, but on those wild, stormy evenings, you can see what it does. Whew. You can't see what's happening inside your stomach without an X-ray machine, but you believe that this can be fixed by this. You can't see your parents' love, but you can see the way your mom cuts your sandwich just the way you like it, and how dad drives you to soccer 4 times a week. And no, you can't see God with your physical eyes, but you can see him in everything he's created. You can see his love in the kid who's kind to you on the bus, and the drive-thru lady who smiles and gives you extra fries. Most of all, you can see who God is in Jesus and the eyewitness accounts written down by his best friends. When you trust, even when it's hard to see, when you live a life based on faith in who God is and how he tells us to love, others can see God at work in you. That's why faith is an amazing way to worship God with your life. Because worship is about more than just singing loud. It's all about living loud.
This is my faith, this is my focus. All of my days, I know where my hope is. I live it loud, I shout the chorus, because I know, oh, you're always for us. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And keep on looking to you for where I'm going, knowing you go there too. I'll keep on looking to you. I fix my eyes on you. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. I fix my eyes on you. This is my faith. This is my focus. All of my days, I know where my hope is. I live it loud, I shout the chorus, because I know, oh, you're always for us. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And keep on looking to you for where I'm going, knowing you go there too. I'll keep on looking to you. I'll fix my eyes on you. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. I fix my eyes on you, oh yeah. You ready? Come on, let's go. Hands in the air, I know you're there, anywhere, I fix my eyes on you. Hands in the air, I know you're there, anywhere, I fix my eyes on you. And keep on looking to you for where I'm going, knowing you go there too. I'll keep on looking to you. I'll fix my eyes on you. You are my only, you are my only focus. You are my focus. I fix my eyes on you.
Hey everybody, I'm Erica and I'm so excited about it being summertime! Summertime, yeah. Ooh. One reason I'm so excited is because I have developed my very own STEAM lab! Look it, check it out. Look it. Wow. Isn't that so awesome? You're probably wondering what that stands for. Science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. And I'm not totally sure how things will go in my lab this summer, but luckily I have faith. Faith is trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see. You see? You see what I did there? I have faith that I'll learn a lot and probably have fun doing so. I mean, just look at this place! Check it out. Wow! Oh, wait. Perfect. Check out this microscope! Microscope. I've always been amazed how microscopes can let you see things that you normally can't see. Take hair, for instance. Ow. Ah, look at that one. See, it looks like a thin line. Mine's kind of curly. Ooh, you can't see it, can you? But put it under a microscope. Wow. Cool, right? What about the inside of a piece of grass? Put it under a microscope. Whoa! Look at that! The inside looks like a whole bunch of smiley face emojis. I mean, you never see that just by looking at grass. Today's Bible story is all about not being able to see everything, but remembering that God always does. It's like he's always looking through a microscope or something. So, let's take a look at this story and see what we can find. Unbelievable! Is that really what my hair looks like?
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Hebrews, chapters 11 and 12.
Gotta have a little faith, 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 faith. Keep the faith. Take a leap of faith. You know, a lot of people toss around the word faith lately. We say you can break the faith, or just take it all on blind faith. But true faith isn't blind at all. It's much more than just an inspirational word. True faith has to do with believing in all the things you can't see because you start with what you can see. Now, we can't see God with our physical eyes, but we can see the stories of people who came before us. They lived in a broken world like we do, but they chose to follow God. They chose to trust His promise that one day He would send a rescuer that would make everything right again. The writer of Hebrews in the New Testament tells us about some of these men and women in God's story. People like Noah, people like Abraham.
Abraham.
When God called Abraham, he was already getting old. He and his wife Sarah didn't have kids.
Leave your country and your people. Leave your father's family. Go to the land I will show you. All nations on earth will be blessed because of you.
God was planning on sending His rescuer as one of Abraham's great, etc. grandchildren. But still, even though Abraham had God's promise, he still couldn't see the one God was sending. Still, Abraham went on a wild adventure, following God's call. And even his descendants, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph, all chose faith in God. Moses, too, was called by God from the fiery heart of a burning bush. Even though he was raised by Pharaoh's daughter, he chose to stand with his own people and face Pharaoh's anger to win freedom. We read about it like this in the book of Hebrews.
Moses suffered shame because of Christ. He thought it of great value.
See, when you check out Hebrews, you discover this huge list of people who followed God by faith, so many that the writer just stops trying to list all of them. Oh, but we can't forget Israel's most important king, David.
Get up and anoint him. This is the one.
Even though God had promised David would be king, though, David spent years on the run from King Saul, fearing for his life. Still, he chose to trust God.
The Lord is my shepherd. He gives me everything I need.
Now, none of these people in the Old Testament could see with their eyes how God was going to save His people, but they could see how He was working in their lives, how their needs were being met. So they chose to believe in His greater plan. They chose faith.
Faith is being sure of what we hope for. It is being sure of what we do not see. That is what the people of long ago were praised for.
Now, here's where the story turns. In Hebrews, we discover that none of those people in the Old Testament received what God had promised here on earth.
That's because God had planned something better for us, so they would only be made perfect together with us.
God's plan includes all of us from the very beginning of creation. So at just the right moment, at the perfect point in time, God sent His rescuer, the hero, His very own Son, Jesus. Jesus showed us how to live. He showed us what God was like, and He told us the most important thing.
If you love one another, everyone will know you are my disciples.
Love God, love others. It's the heart of the whole story. But then, Jesus was killed. and his friends thought the story was finished. Period. Dot. The end. Until God raised him back to life. Jesus has defeated death, and those who follow him can live with him forever. But how do you follow someone you can't see? Well, that brings us back to faith.
Let us keep looking to Jesus. He is the one who started this journey of faith, and he is the one who completes this journey of faith. He paid no attention to the shame of the cross. He suffered there because of the joy he was looking forward to. So think about him. Then you won't lose hope.
The early believers, Peter and John and other followers of Jesus, had seen him teach and heal. They saw him after God raised him to life. But after Jesus returned to heaven, the believers continued to live by faith.
We have to speak about the things we've seen and heard.
Because of what the new Christians in the early church had seen, they could believe in what they could not yet see, the end of the story, where God makes everything right. They kept the faith, and because they did, we can choose faith too.
Woo! Take a look at this one. Any guesses on what that is? It's the inside of a carnation stem. It's amazing how things look so different under a microscope than they do just with our eyes. It makes me think of Hebrews chapter 11. It's where we can look back to all these people in history who had faith in God. Even though they couldn't always see how things would turn out, they believed God and his promises. They lived by faith. And you can live by faith too. In fact, having faith in Jesus and what he did for you on the cross is what makes it possible for you to have a relationship with God. Relationship status update. Even though we can't see Jesus in person, we can still have faith in him because we can see how he's worked in the lives of the people who've come before us. That's the one thing to remember today. You can know Jesus even though you've never seen him. If you want to know Jesus more and you don't know where to start, try talking with someone who has put their faith in Jesus. Or you can read the stories in the Bible of the people who trusted God long ago. There are lots of things we can see that can help us have faith. So, I hope you guys have an awesome day. I'm gonna look at a few more things under my microscope. Like maybe my nail. Let's check it out. Oh, I need to wash my hands better. This microscope tells you a lot.
Take a look at our memory verse for this month. It's coming from the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1. Let's read it all together. Ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Faith is being sure of what we hope for. It's being sure of what we do not see. Say that again. Faith is being sure of what we hope for. Is being sure of what we do not see. You can trust in Jesus even though you can't see him. You know, we have the opportunity to read about Jesus, about who he is and the things that he did in the Bible, but we can also learn about Jesus from other people who follow him. When we see how Jesus has worked in someone else's life, then we kind of know how he would be able to work in ours. Because the reality is that there are times in our lives that we're not going to be able to see. We can't see what's going to happen. We don't understand. We don't know how it's all going to work out. And during those times, we can put our trust in Jesus and we can have faith in him that he's going to help us work it out. Let's take a look at our bottom line coming up on the screen. Let's read it all together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You can know Jesus even though you have never seen him. Say that again. You can know Jesus even though you have never seen him. Awesome. Hey guys, that's all the time we have for today. And remember, next Sunday, we're gathering together at Lakeside High School for our drive-in Upstreet event. Make sure you are there. 10 a.m. in your car, ready to get started. We've got some great stuff planned, and I can't wait to see you there. Bye for now.